So today we'll be working with Rico. Rico is our 8-year-old gelding, Paso Fino gelding, coming all the way from Texas. He's a real problem child. He was gelded late and he beat a few people along the way. And basically he got sent to us here in Mississippi as his last chance, last resort. So he's been here at boot camp, and basically we had to do a lot of groundwork with him to get him to the point that he was able to give us his respect, his undivided attention, and we were able to start working through the problems that he had. The first thing about understanding the horse is you have to establish who you are. So before we start trying to teach Rico anything, the very first thing that we're going to do is called kindergarten. And when you think kindergarten, I want you to think respect. If you put a horse out in a new herd of horses, the first thing that they do is come up and smell each other, and then they take off running, bucking, and kicking. What they're deciding is who's on top of the totem pole. Whether it takes 2 days or 2 hours, as soon as they have it figured out, they go back to doing their favorite job, which is putting their head down, eating grass, getting fatter. So what we have to establish before we do anything with Rico is that we're the alpha, we're in charge, and that's going to be the first step that we do, and that's called kindergarten again. And we're just going to walk off, and what we need to see for him to pass kindergarten is for him to stay out of our bubble. We're going to stop here, make sure he stops when we stop. See, he's still out of our bubble, which is our arm's reach. The other thing that we need to see is that we can back him out of our space without any physical pressure. Now, he's been here for a little over 30 days, so when it took a lot to get him backing up because he didn't have respect for people, and that's why he was such a problem for the people that he had been around in the past. We're going to repeat this again. Walk off, and when he's not expecting it, stop and turn. A couple of problems that you might come across is, number one, whenever you stop, they don't stop. If they don't stop, either they're not respecting you or they're not paying attention. In either case, you want to back them up out of your space. The reason that we stop and turn like that all of a sudden is we want to give them a reason to pay attention to us. So many trained horses, whenever you're walking, they've been walked so many times that their attention is everywhere else. Things end up in your space, end up on top of you, stepping on top of your feet, giving you a hard time. So we want to make sure that wherever we walk to, he stays out of our space unless he's invited. Well, Michael, what's our space? Everybody has a different size bubble. Your bubble is the length of your arm. I don't want Rico coming inside my bubble unless I invite him in or I approach him. It's still okay to come in and pet on him, touch on him, but it's not okay for him to come in my space on his own. There we go, buddy. Try it one more time for you guys. Another thing that you might see is whenever you start backing your horse, they might want to jump off one way or the other. I want you to keep 2 eyes and 2 ears whenever you're doing this. One more time, bud. Believe it or not, for Rico here, that's a big feat, because before we could train him to do anything, he just wanted to be all over top of us. He wanted to spook at anything and run you over. If he wasn't running you over, he wanted to pull the line out of your hands. So we've really been able to get through to him and get some of his respect. Once we pass kindergarten, we're going to move on to first grade. One of the pro tips whenever you're working kindergarten is if you have your coils and your offhand, have the line just going over your thumb like this. So whenever you're going to back the horse, you ask him with a visual cue, then a verbal cue, and then if he still doesn't back, you have the line in your hand and you can start giving it some physical pressure. For him to pass kindergarten, he has to back out of our space without any physical pressure, and that's what we're looking for. He's able to do that, so he's passed. A lot of the horses that you're going to be working at home, they're not going to have that respect early on. When we go to a clinic, none of the horses there respect us, so we have to give some physical pressure until they do. The next time coming back as light as possible again. Just like that. We ride crazy horses, we ride problematic horses, we ride rank horses all over the world. 2 things that we won't ride: if a horse doesn't back out of our space, we're not swinging a leg over that horse until the horse backs up out of our space. Because if a horse doesn't back up to you easily, they're saying, no, I don't respect you. No, you're not the boss of me. No, you're not my alpha. Why in the world would you get on a 1,000-pound animal that's telling you all these things? Another pro tip: if you have a horse that you're trying to back up and they are trying to rear up. Remember, keep the pressure, just do it from a distance. I see so many people when they go to back their horse up, if the horse doesn't back up fast enough, they rush in and they're pushing on the horse's neck or chest. This is a mistake. All the horse has to do is reach out and bop you on the head like Bunny Foo-Foo, and you've had a bad day. What I want you to do is remember, the reason I want you to always have a bubble between you and your horse is for your safety. The most important thing in horsemanship is your safety. So by keeping this bubble here, even if I have a draft, even if I have a saddlebred, a thoroughbred, a tall horse that wants to rear up and strike at me whenever I'm asking them to back, I can keep that pressure and back them up from here. I can back them from the end of the line. Just like that. Look at all the space between he and I. That's what you're going to want to do if your horse is trying to lift their head, be defiant, strike out, rear up in front of you. Don't get right up underneath them to back them up. Keep the pressure going, but from a distance. So 3 keys to passing kindergarten. Remember your bubble. No matter if they come in whenever you're not expecting, feel free to back them right out of your space. Whenever you're backing them up, don't pop your own bubble. Make sure that you're putting enough pressure so that they back out of your bubble and you're moving at the same time. The next thing is whenever you're backing up, keep 2 eyes and 2 ears. A lot of horses like to dodge off of that pressure by trying to surge left or right, giving you a very one-sided back. Make sure that they're backing straight up, just like that. The next thing is on a daily routine, whenever you get your horse out, feel free to stop 2-3 times just from catching them to tacking them. This is really going to let you know how they're feeling that day. What side of the bed they woke up on. Are they paying attention? Are they respecting you? Are they looking for their friends? If they stop when you stop, it's because they're paying attention and they respect you.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching our video. Make sure to get in the comments below and give us your feedback. Let us know what all problems you're having, if you're having any problems with the steps, if there's more videos or problems that you would like to see. We just want to better help you bond with your horse and help fix some of your equine problems and reach your equine goals.